Hej och välkommen! This is our video on some different aspects of Norwegian nouns as part of the basic grammar A1, A2 curriculum. So we will be looking at some different aspects of nouns in this video. So depending on where you are in your learning, these may seem very basic concepts or these may be completely new to you. It is a quite holistic overview of some nouns, but we are keeping ourselves to the A1, A2 level in this one. So let's have a look at our first topic. So nouns in general. So I appreciate a lot of us probably haven't been to school in a while, but certainly I used to struggle with these grammar, vocabulary and technical terms. So when we're talking about nouns, we're basically talking about words that are used to describe either things or people. And these can be either tangible or non-tangible things. So when we talk about tangible, it's basically, can you touch it? So with tangible nouns, we're talking about, windows, houses, cups, or people basically these are things that we can touch. With non-tangible things, we are more thinking about, concepts or abstract things like seasons or flavors. All of these things can be non-tangible nouns. And in terms of kind of nouns, they can be, people, places, companies, and we call these proprietary nouns. So basically, if a noun is describing the name of something, that will be a proprietary noun. And they have a slightly different treatment that we'll look at in the end of this video. So we've got some examples of nouns. So ett hus, en kopp, Thomas, Oslo. These are all examples of nouns. So with Norwegian nouns, each of them has an assigned gender. Now, there's no rhyme or reason as to what gender is assigned to each noun. It's just something that we need to kind of know because that follows through with other grammar that we'll be looking at as well. So we have 3 genders, although we mostly just use 2. So for the purposes of this course, we're only really talking about bokmål. So there are 2 forms of Norwegian. It's nynorsk and bokmål. So in nynorsk, the feminine gender is more used. It's also a bit more kind of regional, depending on the dialects. But for bokmål, we mainly concern ourselves with masculine and neutral. And we know that the noun is masculine or neutral because it will have the gender article. So the articles are literally these little words. So they correspond to basically an a in English. So a house, a woman, a man, etc. So these articles will tell us what gender the noun is. So whenever we need to learn a noun, it's good to just learn it with the article so that we always know what gender it is. In terms of the feminine nouns, any noun that's feminine can be masculine. So if we've got, for example, a kvinne, that can also be en kvinne. So mathematically, that gives us a probability of about 67% of the nouns being masculine. So whenever you're in doubt as to what gender a noun is, it's good to just guess masculine, and most likely you will be right. Although, not always, but lucky guesses usually masculine. So we need to know the genders of nouns for a number of things. The first and most basic thing is that we need to define these nouns. So when we talk about defining nouns, we talk about kind of going from a something to the something. So in English, we change the article, we go from a to the. In Norwegian, what we do instead is we alter the noun itself. So for masculine nouns, we literally take the en article that we just talked about and we put it at the end of the noun. We do the same for a neutral. We just take the article et and we put it at the end of the noun. Now, remember that for neutral defined nouns, the t is silent. So we say huset and not huset. So it's the exception and not the rule. Most T's at the ends are pronounced. And for feminine defined nouns, we would just add an A instead, so it's different than masculine and neutral nouns. The last thing to remember here is that when we do these defined transitions, if a noun already ends with an E, like matpakke, and we take the en and we put it at the end of the noun, we don't double up on the E's. So if it already ends with an E, we just add the N or the T as needed. All right, that's it for this video. We have part 2 coming up next, so stay tuned.